Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 6 of what I call my mini mompreneur musings. Yes, alliteration is my jam. So, episode 6 is kind of two-part. I want to start by opening up an invitational space where I want to invite you to really join the conversation. And then second, I will offer my little real life lesson learned / reframe through an example. So I want to start by hearkening back to a topic that I actually spoke about in episode number 2, where I told the story of how I broke the fuck down in like sobbing tears in the parking lot, Dutch Bros parking lot, because it followed an episode where I had to really lean into my intuition and trust myself, and that just felt so vulnerable and so raw and so scary. And I want to go back for a moment to that this topic of leaning into and listening to our intuition, because I find it endlessly challenging and endlessly fascinating and endlessly important. The question that I want to pose and that I want to invite you to join in the conversation with is when we feel that fear, the intuition tangled with fear, how do we know when to move through the discomfort, move through the fear? With so many personal development people are telling you to move through the fear, move through the discomfort, because everything you want is on the other side of that fear and the discomfort. Or when do we listen to it and really heed that fear and allow it to inform us, and to inform us to step back, to say, okay, well, maybe I need to pivot. Maybe this isn't for me. So that's my big question, and I feel like it has something to do with head-based versus heart-based fear. I think that if it's head-based, if it's just stories that we're telling ourselves, then let's create another story and let's move through that. And if it's heart-based, then maybe it's something we really need to pay attention to more and heed. I would love for you to weigh in. If you're watching the replay, please join in with comments, because this is something that is just endlessly fascinating to me, and I think it's a really important conversation. So the second part, and this is that I want to get to, is where I want to share a real life lesson learned and a reframe. I want to talk about an example of my fear / intuition regarding my big dream, and how I was able to sidestep that fear through a positive, manageable, exciting choice that is really about kind of chunking down and going small and going local. And I'm gonna use the metaphor, and I will elucidate this metaphor in a moment. The metaphor of the tree. Hello, Bruce. Thank you so much for joining live. So the whole forest for the tree and tree for the forest is something that always that always messed me up. But I do, for the purpose of illustrating this example, I do want to use this metaphor of the tree and the forest, because I find that there's something very majestic and powerful and beautiful in the metaphor of the tree and the forest. So wait for it. It's coming. The example I want to give is where I'm at now, as far as I had a successful Kickstarter campaign and for Teal Urbanwear, which is this project that I'm working on, this lifestyle brand for moms who've got their hands full, featuring apparel with pockets. And my next step following the Kickstarter campaign, as I had envisioned it, was to launch an online store. And launching an online store is such a big fucking thing. Seemingly to me, because I am doing it all by myself, and I feel like I need, like huge amount of capital and a team, all of which I don't have. And then, of course, there's inventory. Then there's, the packaging and the shipping and all of that to think about. So there's just so much that is a part of my big, big goal and my vision. And I was finding that it was kind of paralyzing me in a way, and keeping me still and not in motion. And so I want to talk about something that I found that has renewed my energy. And it's something small, and it's something that I'm really excited about. And I think that when we have really, really, really big dreams, it's amazing. We want to have big dreams. I want you to hold on to the big, wild, audacious dreams. You need to dream big, and you need to have those big dreams. But when it comes to inspired action, I feel like it's really important to break it down into manageable pieces, into chunks, and either find a small chunk of that bigger dream or something that aligns, something side by side that aligns with the bigger dream, And this is what I call the tree. So so what I found in the whole letting go of that big dream, or not letting go, but just keeping that dream up there for a moment, and then coming down to earth, keeping the dream lofty, coming down to earth, and finding what I will call my tree. So what happened was that I went, I had a meeting somewhere in Southeast Portland, walked back to my car, stumbled upon this cute little boutique, went in. I was just called to go into this boutique that had lovely clothing and, apparel and accessories. And then there was the woman behind the counter was holding a 2-month-old baby, and everything was I just connected to everything in that little boutique. And I started talking to this mom who owned the boutique, and just spilled my heart out to her, or spilled my business vision out to her. And I happened to have been wearing the teal urban wear pants at the time, so she saw them, and she was like, "Oh, those are great. I love the quality. It's such great quality." And she said to me, "You know what? If you wanted to consider doing a pop-up, let me know. I'd be totally open to that." And so she had planted this little seed that burgeoned and blossomed. And that is the seed that I'm holding on to now. And so now my big next goal, rather than, being overwhelmed and paralyzed by the big online store that I will launch in due time, is holding on to this seed of a pop-up. And it's something that I'm super excited about. I think there's so much to be said for going small and going local. I'm so excited to be connecting, to be local, to be connecting with a local community. And so this is what I want to offer you with my metaphor of the tree. The tree is just a small piece of the bigger vision of the forest. The forest is the bigger vision. The tree is something a small piece that you hold on to, that you climb. And from that tree, you may very well scope out and survey the entire forest. And so that's my little example. I would love to hear your examples, and how this can and may relate to your dreams and your visions. But that's what I wanted to share with you. That is my little piece, the little tree that is so much easier to climb than the big scaling the big forest. And it's that little tree that I believe will allow me to scope the forest and then figure out my next steps and how I will, in due time, scale that forest. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that it's, so often we're told, dream up that big dream, that big goal, and then detach from the meaning, detach from the outcome. And here's another conversation I want to open up, because how the fuck do you detach? I find it so fucking hard to detach from the meaning and the outcome. So please share. Mala, Tamara, thank you for watching live. please share if you have any insight into how to detach from the outcome. I think the way I'm going at it is by climbing that smaller tree, because I feel like it is so much easier to detach and to let go from the meaning and the outcome when it's smaller than when it is this huge, audacious, big, hairy thing. That's it. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Please let me know. Let me know your thoughts on any of this, on detaching, on trees and forests, and on leaning into intuition, on figuring out whether it's head-based or heart-based. All of this is just, these are all things that I'm working out on. Anyway, and I would love to carry through this conversation. And thank you for joining my musings and my business building in real time. All right, go climb that tree, find your tree and climb it. Bye.